And we are watching tropical downpours that will be triggering a rare and potentially dangerous flood threat across the Gulf Coast states. We do have a level 3 flood threat in place until Thursday. That's level 3 out of 4. Remember that. There are some areas expecting to receive more than 12 inches of rain once this is finally said and done. And that's over a matter of a couple of days. As you look right over places like Springfield, Illinois, St. Louis as well, those are other areas that we'll be watching for some severe storms, not only today, but through the day tomorrow as well. So let's get right to it, because we'll start with all that we expect going on with some heavy rainfall across a lot of the Gulf Coast states. This is the rain still to come through the end of the week, and a lot of it happens over Texas, Southeast Texas, Louisiana for the next 2 days. Significant rainfall, anywhere from 8 to potentially 12 inches of rainfall, and some spots could receive even more than that. Some areas like Houston receive on average about 5 inches of rain per month. You may receive that in a matter of days, and in some cases, some of you may get that in an hour. Rainfall rates could reach up to 5 inches per hour, rather. And so when we've got this kind of threat, the concern for life-threatening flooding is something that we need to consider, and something that we want to make sure that you are aware of. Not to scare you by any means, but just to get you ready. If you live in this area, you know what it means to get this type of rainfall. Wednesday through Thursday, also a level 3 out of 4 flash flood threat for Houston, Lake Charles. The level 2 extends all the way into portions of Mississippi. As we look at Thursday into Friday, here we go again, level 3 out of 4 flash flood threat. Now for Louisiana, central and southern Mississippi, central and portions of southern Alabama. The level 2 threat goes all the way up into Tennessee, and then the storms to the north of there also creating some flooding concerns. Now here's the area that we're watching also with the National Hurricane Center for possible tropical development. Whether this thing becomes Arthur or not is not something we need to be concerned with right now. What we need to be concerned with is the amount of rainfall that's coming down. Plus, look at the consistent onshore winds. That onshore wind is going to lead to potentially coastal flooding, especially during high tide, but it's that constant onshore push that will be a problem for us along the coast. Plus, you've got a lot of fresh water falling from the sky that's trying to make it back into the Gulf. So you're backed up inland from the water that's trying to make it out to the Gulf. By the time we get into Thursday, this energy should be back over land, but the rain continues to get pushed in, and now you can see why we've got more in the way of all of the moisture getting pushed up to the south. So the amount of moisture that is available, it is significant. And having said that, you look at the column of air, how much moisture do we have in the air and how much gets squeezed out? There is a lot, and that is the problem. That's what we're watching here closely. Invest 90L was designated in the Gulf on Monday afternoon, and odds of development, they are increasing. By midweek, this system could form into a short-lived tropical storm. Now, hurricane hunters are set to investigate this system later today. We'll take a look at what they find. We'll bring you those updates as well. Taking off from Biloxi, Mississippi is what they'll be looking at, and what they'll be looking for are, what is this storm system doing? Are we getting the center of circulation that's closed? They want to look at the wind. They want to dissect the entire storm. What they'll do is they'll also go ahead and put all of that information into the forecast models that will help this area. Invest 90L, remember, they investigated a little bit more with that system, so we've got some warm ocean waters there that have been really into the 80s, and that's all it needs for this system to continue to feed off of if it makes it over the open waters. Now, having said that, when we're watching for the information that comes in, that's going to lead to better model output for us. The area that we're watching with the National Hurricane Center, the chances of development have gone up. If you were with us yesterday, now we're at a medium chance with 60% chance of development over the next 2 days. Now, right now, most of this energy is centered right over Mexico, crossing into Texas. You can actually make out a very broad area of circulation right about here. This was once Christina that came over from the Pacific, went over portions of Mexico, drenched Mexico, and now all that moisture has to be with us, right? Not only that, but the moisture itself is also high in the atmosphere. Remember, it came from the Pacific, so that moisture in the mid and upper levels is there. You head down to the surface, and the Gulf moisture is being fed into this. Now, it's the type of tropical system that has warm air throughout that column, so this is going to be all rain, and that's a big concern when you talk about warm air process. Basically, when you go up into the cloud, there's not a cold air aloft that would give us those hailstones. Instead, it's all water droplets, and those water droplets all come together. It makes more in the way of bigger drops, and those make it to the surface. Here's a look at takeoff time for us. It is 11:45 p.m. tonight when we'll see that take off. That's departing from Biloxi, Mississippi. It's a low-level investigation, which is important to find out what the system is doing closer to the surface, and we'll bring you the very latest. We can watch those here at Fox Weather, so stay with us throughout the day.